and the team Mindray for arranging such a beautiful, wonderful conference. Potentially threatening topic in front of you. I also ask your pardon if I make a mistake because I'm very a small child in front of the knowledge of artificial intelligence. I can give you a wrong information because the information might have already changed from the time I have updated it, where my updation ended few hours back. Okay. Artificial intelligence has a role everywhere. Now you are sure about it. How many of you are using ChatGPT? If you could raise your hand, it will be good. And may I know, are you using for diagnosis as well? Did you ever try that with your laboratory values? Okay. And we need to thank the person, Mr. Altman, who is now not there in OpenAI. He moved from there to Microsoft, who actually made a user interface, UI, for the artificial intelligence which I was hearing from my early childhood and 10th years. The concept of artificial intelligence came from the fact that we learned everything from nature. So one of the most complex things that we couldn't understand, or we are trying to understand until now, is the neuron function itself. So people tried how this can be replicated, and here you have the answer. You are lucky, or our generation is lucky to see the outcome. Probably before we die, we'll see many, many, many wonderful things. This is the concept that is created, or the model that is created, which is the background of what we see in ChatGPT, where the knowledge is artificially created from the information that is available, especially in the form of internet now. It is not only from internet, it is also from digitalized content. When I was in the 11th standard, or about 40 years back, this was an article that came in 1983 on evaluating AI system for medical diagnosis. Was maybe a fun at that time because people doesn't know what is artificial intelligence at that time. Only the techies. If you see the journal, it is a AI magazine. So only the techies know what it is. They could only explain. But I am sure that the AI concept at that time was not evolutionized as what we know now. In 1987, expert system for clinical diagnosis are worth the effort, the question raised again in the same journal. Why? Because there was a concern whether this will be able to give the outcome as expected. By 1990, application of artificial intelligence were used for identifying small clinical problems like diagnosis of jaundice. Later, by 2006, computer-aided diagnosis based on medical image processing was used. Probably this could have been the beginning of the probabilities or the possibilities the AI can have has raised. Now it's very well known that the AI is capable of better reading the X-rays or any other images, including the pathology slides. Why? Because the vision of the human eye has limitation, while the transformation of image into different type of computer or you say computational method is possible, including Fourier analysis. High performance medicine, the convergence of human and artificial intelligence was came as a review article in 2019. I'm sure by 2019, the biggest respected journal in the industry, Nature Medicine, could identify this and place it, which was the beginning of artificial intelligence being widely used and probably certified by FDA like approving agency I remember that by 2019 there were few algorithms or protocols were certified by FDA. Where all AI can be used? Everywhere. It used some technical terms like causal modeling, strategic reasoning, explanation of things, knowledge acquisition and verification, validation and evaluation of AIM systems, anatomic reasoning, temporal reasoning. It goes on like this. Later, by the 2019, the American Association of Clinical Chemistry also started publishing AI-related matter, where people were confused with the terminologies. What is AI? What is machine learning? What are models? What is learning? What is supervised? And what is semi-supervised and computer vision like? Computer vision is the vision or the vision capability by computer or any camera as you see anywhere else. Definitely will change or might change already the capability that we have as a laboratory personnel. There are models like causal models which are mathematical models, where we were told in the beginning that if you don't study the maths, somehow we took the biology by chance, but we didn't want to study the maths. But if we would have studied both maths and biology, this would have been easy for us. The mathematical model of biological things or other things that made the causal models possible. Those who doesn't like the statistics, regression models and R values will not be able to understand this concept also, where relationship between the components you use in a artificial intelligence are regression based so that the relations can be easily identified. Then the question raises that why you want AI? The why has many explanation. I think I have updated the PPT which is not here. I'll explain why. Why has many answers now? Why? Because now in laboratory, from the beginning, that means from the pre-analytical area to the post-analytical area, the computer vision or the artificial intelligence will play a big role, probably that we will see by our eyes within few years. I have been lucky enough to try and do an FDA certification for one of the equipment by Sigtipple, which is a Bangalore-based company, who was doing slide-based PBF certification, that means peripheral blood smear reporting, which they could market it very soon in the market, and this equipment is currently available in the market. They were also trying to see whether they are able to do urine slide evaluation as well as the bone marrow slide evaluation also on the same analyzer. They were successful in keeping urine testing in the same analyzer, but I am not sure about the bone marrow because later we couldn't have a tie-up. So that equipment is currently FDA certified and is available in the market. When you stain a slide and give it to the equipment, it will scan the complete slide and classify all the cells according to the differential morphology and count it and give you a PBF report with the diagnosis. But it doesn't give a diagnosis as such, will allow the pathologist to take a better decision. So it's in the pre-analytical. I was wondering and imagining about a pre-analytical system where you need not keep a barcode. Instead, you just keep a camera there. It will be able to read the sample and identify the sample. There are systems like that is currently working in US, where biggest supply chain like Amazon is not using barcode-based identification tool. They are using AI-based identification tool with 100% accuracy. So that is going to be something very big, that the pre-analytical thing will be completely controlled by the artificial intelligence, where all the sample transport, storage, retrieval, everything will be easily done by AI in future. And that is, we are going to see this. In post-analytical, whether the results are appropriate. When we give interpretation to a particular test, it is a fixed interpretation now being given because your footer is the same. But in future, what is going to happen is AI will be able to give a interpretation that is according to that particular person based on the other tests being done also. So the interpretation and the post-analytical evaluation of the result is going to be totally changing, and that also has been applied in many places. The question is, will it replace the expert like you and me? Don't get afraid. If you get afraid and if you are apart from that, you will not be going forward, because you have to learn this and be with this, so that this is the era that is people were afraid of, or people were not expecting. You have to be with this particular thing, that you need to learn what is the principle, where all you can apply this and be with this system, so that your learning process as well as your work will be simplified. Best example is my work has been reduced to 1 by 10th. I have started taking more challenging work, because I could be supported by the artificial intelligence, including for programming. It was initially started used for the radiology and pathology. Now you can see it is being used everywhere. Pathology, I'm not going into the details. In hematology, I have an example I already told you for calorimetry to digital imaging and AI. I am sure that there are organizations or the vendors who are already applying this. Instead of calorimetric assay, they started using image analysis. With the pixel concentration, they are able to give a better result than the calorimetric result. So this is going to replace probably our wet chemistry into dry chemistry or spot-based chemistry. And this image analysis is the advantage of such image analysis, that you need very little sample, as well as the complexity of the equipment can be reduced much, so that the point of care equipments can be available. I have done a trial for one of the AI machine that was capable of doing chemistry as well as the hematology in a single machine that was the shape of a CPU. So this is already there in the market. Okay, AI can be helpful in reporting as well as releasing the results also, because releasing, as you know, need many information that when we try and search may not be available in the computer, or the AI will be able to get this information, because it can handle a large number of data. As I told already, FDA has approved many such equipments as well as protocols, and now you have a very huge list of AI-supported equipments, including for diagnosis as well as for laboratory. Now AI-based chatbots are available. One example is the ChatGPT, but ChatGPT is not specific for medical. There are medical-based AI algorithm available that is readily available to Google, and there are many other companies are also coming up with such algorithms. Remember that when digital pathology was initially introduced, it was a 1 crore or 2 crore project. Now it is going to be very cheap, so that you can use digital pathology and make your work more easy. That came in 2009, and I just told I have updated the slides. It was not there. This I have seen from one of the biggest threat that we have. If you are not a person who is knowing in detail and understanding the concepts very clearly, this will be the outcome. I just want to warn. This is the first ever suicide of a robot happened in the world. You can go back and read this. First ever suicide of a robot happened. This was a cleaning robot in US. This came in newspaper in Mirror in 13th November 2013. And this is the second one reported. It was a cleaning robot in the open air. Didn't want to do its work. Just went in. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor, from taking us from chemistry to the world of AI. I don't know what we are going to see next.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Any questions for Dr. Riju? So when it's AI, I would like to make everyone aware that Mindray is already into hematology AI, and we have we have invented our very own digital morphology system, and like it's already working at 2 places in India. So AI and hematology, we are proud of it.
When I met the corporate head office at China
Yeah.
about 6 years back, I asked them, do you have a plan? I heard that they already
Yes.
came up with a
Yes.
plan. That's very good. Happy to hear
Yeah.
that.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
And we have a TLA system, total lab automation system, which also is based on AI. So
Dr.
we are
Vinita was
already
with
on the
me.
path.
Remember, ma'am? Okay.
Yeah. So we are already on the path, and coming years we'll see more. So thank you, Dr. Riju. And may I request Dr. Ujjwala Maheshwari to please present the certificate to Dr. Riju Mathews.
Thank you, ma'am. Histopathology is there.